damn hot water, hot shower. Hot Atlanta smoking green cauliflower. Tangerine.
We are back with another interview with PLL Whipsnakes player Dylan Maltz, one-time national champion, Maryland player, All-American, Big Ten Player of the Week, former Ireton lacrosse coach. Overall, like just the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Maltz, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. Looking forward to talking lacrosse and life and my career at Maryland, and then my professional career going forward.
So my first question is, coming out of high school, I didn't know you were originally committed to Syracuse.
Yep, I was originally committed to Syracuse. I went to Syracuse my freshman year. My dad went to Syracuse. He was on the first championship team ever there in 1983. My older brother played at Syracuse. He was a two-time captain there, and he was a senior when I was a freshman there. And I was there my freshman year, and then decided to come home to Maryland, Virginia area to play for the Terps. It's a risky decision to transfer. You don't know what's going to happen, but it was one of the best decisions of my life.
So ultimately, what was the decision? Or what was the thing that made you want to transfer?
I didn't think it was really my style there, and it just didn't wind up working out. And through the recruiting process, I was recruited by Coach Tillman at Maryland, and I loved him during the recruiting process. He's the best. He's like a father figure for you when you're at school, and he really looks after all of his players. And I'll never forget when I went on my visit there, and just the kind of person he is. He's always someone I wanted to play for. In high school, I was super close to my high school coach, Coach Mitchell, and I always wanted that kind of relationship. And I knew after my freshman year being out to play with my brother, I knew Maryland was a place I'd love to play and play for Coach Tillman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so back in 2016, after transferring to Maryland, you won the Big Ten Player of the Week. Do you remember anything from that week, any of the games? How did you feel after winning that?
Honestly, I don't even remember the week it was or anything like that. I just know besides a Rambo and a Brian Cole, it was at Maryland, everyone shares the ball so well. It could be, Connor Kelly scoring 5 goals one game, Brian Cole having 5 assists and 2 goals the next game, Rambo having 6 goals, Colin Heacock scoring, Tim Rotance, you never knew who it was going to come from. So it was just, my teammates being good teammates, and I was in the right spot at the right time, and that worked out for me.
Yeah. Playing with a team like that was almost like a dream team for college lacrosse.
Yeah.
One of the guys you see on that roster. So, how would you guys – I don't know if the personalities were big, but, on the field, you were all superstars. How would you just, share the ball? Would anybody ever get angry if they didn't get enough touches or shots?
It's a funny question, but no, honestly, the way we played in Maryland, it was so easy to share the ball. I mean, we're all super close. No one was – if you look at the statistics at, Maryland lacrosse teams, for the most part – you don't really see those guys with 115 points, or 100 goal seasons. I mean, I think Rambo was kind of an outlier. He had 90 points or something in his senior year, and he had a ton of points throughout his 4 years at Maryland. But I mean, he's the best feeder I've ever played with, and one of the best feeders I've ever seen play the game. And I think just the philosophy at Maryland with sharing the ball and being very humble with how we played is a testament to it was easy to play with those guys. And like you said, the 2016 team was probably one of the best Maryland teams ever. And we came up short that year in the championship game by a goal in overtime. But it's just crazy. We never really had problems with that in Maryland.
All right. So for my next question, you talked about your dad and your brother playing at Syracuse, and you got another brother at Maryland right now too. So having that many pretty well-known family members that are playing college lacrosse, how has that shaped you and helped you craft your game?
Yeah, growing up with my father, he pushed me really, really hard throughout the years I played, whether it was middle school, high school, even college, he's really pushed me super hard. And I always had an older brother to play with, growing up, we always had the sticks in our hands, whether it was fiddle sticks or, shooting outside. And my dad was heavily involved with that. And even my little brother, we had a goalie, shoved him in the net. My older brother and I could get some reps. So he built some toughness through that. But yeah, having family members who play the game or play any sports is super helpful. And just having my dad, he pushed me harder than anyone. And I think that's the reason why I was able to do what I was able to do.
So you posted a picture on Instagram. It was the anniversary of you guys losing your 2016 championship.
Yeah.
Then you won it the next year. How would that – I actually like the buzz cut and the beard look. That was a good look, the buzz cut.
You like that, right? And I was bald.
Yeah. How did that game help you guys going into the 2017 season?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, so 2015, we lost the championship to Denver. 2016, we had our best team players at an individual talent level. If you look at our defense, Matt Dunn, Bryce Young, Tim Muller, Matt Neufeld, Nick Brzezowski, Isaiah, Nick Manis. I mean, our team was stacked defensively, offensively. Brian Cole, who wasn't on the team in 17. Pat Young, who was another superstar player. Henry West. We had a ton of good players, right? PY, Biakac. So then, that season, I think the entire year, we knew we were really, really good. And when the season got rolling, we were beating some teams and we were on a streak, like we were on a roll that year. Once we got to like kind of the Final Four and the championship, it was almost like we're going to win this. Like we beat Syracuse in the quarterfinals, which is one of my favorite games of all time. But we were such a good team. I think, we kind of got ahead of ourselves to some extent. Like once we made it to the championship game, we had already beaten Carolina in the season pretty handily. We beat them up pretty good. And so going into that game, I think we were 100% prepared, but I think mentally maybe we just kind of got ahead of ourselves. Like, what tattoos are we going to get? Like, what are we going to do after we win? Like, rather than being like, we need to win this game first, looking back on it, that's how I reflect, is just like, I think we kind of got ahead of ourselves there. And so when we lost, we were down 4-0 in the first quarter, I think. And then we got in a roll. We made it a game. We were up 2 with like 5-6 minutes left or something like that. And we wound up losing. It was like it hurt really bad. We were so invested in that season. We knew our team was really, really good. UNC had an awesome team that year too with Cloutier and all those other players. But that was tough. And then I saw that picture of Rambo Heacock and I, those were my boys on the bench, just like, we couldn't believe it. Like, we actually lost. I remember crying my eyes out a lot after that game. For the next couple of days, it was just because I couldn't believe that we didn't win. We all thought we were going to win. We were so confident that we were going to win. And so, but it really helped shape that next season. We were able to learn from those mistakes. And then next season, it was just like, listen, this is all business. Like we lost a couple really, really good players. Kyle Bernlohr, best goalie in the world right now. Matt Dunn, best defender in the world right now. Brian Cole, one of the best offensive middies who can feed. He was the best assist man. Like, I think he had like 40 or 50 assists that year, senior year. He was a huge part of our offense. So coming back, we still had Heacock, Rambo, and I on attack. And then, Jared Bernhardt coming in. We still had Connor Kelly, Tim Rotance, and a couple other really key players. But it was just all business. It was a different approach. It hurt going to the championship 2 times in a row and losing. It hurts. And but it really motivated us. Like I said in that Instagram post, I had that picture on my phone up until we won the game. Like I'd look at that every day. Like, you don't want to feel that pain again. And Coach Tillman would reiterate it, like, do you guys want to feel that way again? And being a senior, we had such a strong senior class and such strong leadership with that class that we were able to stay focused. And we were able to stay focused, and I think that really helped us. And then in the playoffs, it was like, dude, we're not talking about what we're doing when we win. We're talking about like the now. We gotta win this game first. And I think that really helped us, and it worked out.
Yeah, the Ohio State Maryland game was pretty good. I went to the game. I was cheering for Ohio State because I'm an Ohio State guy, but it happens. It happens.
Yeah, Ohio State was an awesome team. We lost to them earlier in the season. We only beat them by 1. It was either in overtime or regulation, but we only beat them by 1. They were the matchup you wouldn't want to see. They're just like us. They're blue collar. They're very gritty. They're tough on ground balls. They've got a really good defense. Their face-off guy and Withers was amazing. I mean, that's one thing to note. My senior year, I think we went up against the top 5 face-off guys in that quarterfinals. I mean, the first round, quarterfinals, final four, and championship game. The first game I think was against Bryant. Their face-off guy was awesome. Albany with T.D. Erlin. I think he was the number 2 or 3 face-off guy in the country. Then we have Baptiste at Denver, who you guys know him. He's freaking incredible.
Yeah,
and then we had Withers in the championship. So it wasn't easy. I mean, that was when we got our the playoffs and we saw the matchups. It was like, wow, we have to play the best face-off guys in the game to get to where we want to get to. And our face-off guys came up huge. I mean, John Greeno, who was I think our second or third slinger, he freaking went above like 65% or something when he got in there, 70%.
So we know the coronavirus has like affected a lot, like cancellation of all sports, stuff like that. But the PLL finally announced that they are bringing back lacrosse and they're hosting the championship series over the span of like 16 days, 20 games, with one champion. Like, are you excited for that? Have you thought into that? Heard from the team? Like, what are you guys doing for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. So, I mean, it's with the 3-week series, I mean, I think they were the first professional sports league to announce that they were going to have a league. With that, obviously, there's got to be some cutbacks. They're only bringing 22 guys per team to the tournament. Unfortunately, I'm not one of the 22. They had to make some tough decisions. I'm still with the Whipsnakes, and I'm excited to see what happens and what those guys do. I think they have a really good team. I think this new team, the Water Dogs, are going to be good. But I think it's exciting. I know a lot of guys are pumped up for that. They just announced it's in Salt Lake City. So I think that should be really cool. Yeah.
What's it like joining the PLL last year as the first year it was created? Like, what was that like?
It's pretty awesome. I know Paul's done a great job in creating a league, him and his brother Mike. It's exciting because, us as lacrosse players, we want to see the game grow. I know the NLL does an awesome job with how they run things, and now the PLL are doing tremendous things as well. And so it's great to see, a professional league that's it looks like it's going in the right direction. So it's an exciting time. I know for the first time I see, at least I personally see, like kids I train wearing like certain jerseys, whether it's like a Baptiste jersey or a Rambo jersey. And I didn't really see that beforehand. So it was exciting to see the sport start to grow. There's a lot more eyes on the games. It's on, NBC Sports. And you got guys like Teddy Bruschi back in the league. You got guys like Drew Brees back in the league who have their kids who are playing. And there's a lot of excitement about it. And I think it's the sport of the future. So that's really exciting. Yes. And it's a cool opportunity that the PLL has presented to lacrosse players all around the world.
Yeah, growing up playing lacrosse, like all my coaches would always like reiterate, like grow the game, stuff like that. However you can, bring people out. So seeing that stuff actually start to get bigger, pro league, it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, you guys as players, I mean, it's pretty exciting to see that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, it is. And then like speaking about expanding the game, you were just in Japan.
Yeah.
That looked crazy, man. Talk me through that.
Yeah, it's awesome. So when 2.5 years ago, when I decided to do lacrosse full time, my buddy Sergio Salcido and I, he went to Syracuse. We started a lacrosse company where we just go and host clinics and, do camps and stuff like that. And we wanted to do some more international type stuff to grow the game a little bit more. And so 2 years ago, we got to go to Japan and Norway, which was unbelievable. Norway is probably my favorite country besides the United States. I mean, it's beautiful there. And I think I talked to you about Norway, Connor, a little bit.
Yeah, you did.
It's awesome, and it was a lot of fun, and I still keep in touch with some of those players that I coached. And then this past year, Sergio couldn't come because he was coaching at Rollins College. So I brought Matt Rambo and my friend Nick Brzezowski. They both played in Maryland, but bringing Rambo, it was an unreal experience. I mean, he's the best player in the game. The players were super excited to be coached by someone like that. And we had over, I think, we did 7 clinics, and we had over 250 players. It was unbelievable. And, we're out there, I think, for 6 hours a day. And it was a lot of fun. And, having a guy like Rambo out there,
Yeah.
you can only imagine how much fun that was.
Hmm. Well, when I was introducing you, I forgot to add one more title to your TikToker now.
I'm a TikToker, yeah.
I saw the TikTok Lily Winstanley. I was with her today, and she showed me the you and Pat.
Oh yeah, the one with the ball. Yeah. I'm in the TikTok game now, so if anyone's watching this and has a TikTok, Dylan Maltz 10. I've been doing a lot of stuff with my little brother. He plays at Maryland right now, and we've been doing some trick shots and some shooting and some cool things. But it's another way to just get exposure to the sport. I saw an opportunity and just jumped on it. At first, when I started the TikTok, it was just like a bunch of random Snapchat videos I had, and then I just started to focus it more on lacrosse, and it's been good.
Well, there was that one really cool one where you had all the professional athletes from Ashburn, right?
Yeah.
It was like Jonathan Allen from the Redskins. The
Trace
guy
McSorley.
I forgot from around here. He went to St. Stephen's.
Who was that?
McSorley. I think, didn't he go to St. Stephen's his freshman year?
No, he went to Briarwoods.
Oh, okay.
He went to Briarwoods. He played, I think he won 4 state championships there or something crazy.
Yeah.
But, he played lacrosse when he grew up, too. So he was on a team of mine when we were growing up. I think he was 7th or 8th grade. But, yeah, Ashburn, Virginia, we had Jonathan Allen, Trace McSorley, J.B. Bukauskas, who was a first-round pick in the MLB. Now he was playing for the Houston Astros. I think he just got traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks, but he's a stud. And then the soccer player Muriel Tiernan, she plays over in Iceland right now in a European soccer league, professionally.
Yeah, that's crazy. Northern Virginia, man.
Northern Virginia represent, baby.
Try to tell them. No one listens to me.
Nobody listens. That's a hot. What is it? Hot bread? Hot zone?
Hotbed.
Hotbed. There we go.
Yeah.
Hotbed.
All right. Thanks, man.